Yeah. So we need ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ
शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन सिद्धि सगन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक गणपति
So now I cannot use it, but if you disconnect that one, okay, hold it.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have
You
a round of applause for Sen Ben Carter. She is the product of
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ
JSS
ಆಯಿತು,
Sunday
ಒಂದು
School.
8 ಜನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ರಿಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
May I request Dr. Babu Killara to join us on stage and share a few words, please?
ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ತಾವ್ರ ಸರ್ ಜನ.
Good morning. It's a blessing to have you all here on a spectacular 50 acres of rolling meadow in Gaithersburg on this beautiful day. Welcome to the groundbreaking ceremony or Bhoomi Pooja for this new temple. Bhoomi means Mother Earth. Pooja means worshipping her for the sole existence of humankind ends, supporting the upcoming temple. First and foremost, I would like to bow my head to the lotus feet of His Holiness Sri Shivratri Deshakendra Mahaswamiji, His Holiness Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji, who joined us today to witness the Bhoomi Puja for the upcoming temple and facility halls. It's my distinct honor and a privilege to welcome two enlightened masters who are two mountains, two Everest, two oceans and two rivers.
ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಏನೋ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ.
First of all, my obligation is to introduce Sri Shivratri Deshakendra Mahaswamiji, who is the head of JSS organization, which are deep into many causes such as
somebody
education,
already saying like
health,
see
spirituality,
Mallikarjuna Swami, so some
science.
people are seeing it.
Similarly, Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji, head of Avadhuta Peethas. These two masters are working tirelessly in serving millions of people across the globe in the areas of science, engineering, medicine, and spirituality. I want everyone to rise up and welcome these two masters. Thank you. Have a seat, please. Many rituals were conducted this morning according to the Vedic tradition that signifies the attainment of knowledge, purity, and connection with divine for unity and harmony in diverse society. This has been expressed through Indian proud Vedic tradition, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, meaning the world is one family. The upcoming temple and its facilities will be a shining symbol of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in action, where everybody, regardless of community, caste, creed, color, they can come together to find harmony and peace and spirituality. Joining us in our celebration this morning on the stage, Mr. Anshu Sharma, the Embassy of India, Office Teacher, Reverend Casey Casement, Casey Casement is the Interfaith Community Liaison for Montgomery County. We started our permitting process almost 6 years ago, and we had a very tough time. All the engineers were done. In getting the permission was very tough, and getting the meetings and scheduling a meeting with the county was almost impossible. And Casey, thank you very much. You were instrumental in connecting JSS with the county. I sincerely thank you for that. We have Lily Queen is the Maryland delegate, and I would like her to wish many sincere love in moving forward. Professor Krishnan, the talk show host from India. Ken Richard, Assistant to Senator Benjamin Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich, and our one and only Aruna Miller, the former elder. So let's wish her all the best in her future endeavor. I would like to welcome Amarnath Gowda, our attorney from Michigan. Yeah. Mr. Madhusudan Nair, President of Kerala Association. Now, in order to make Swamiji's vision into a reality, there is one person who deserves a special welcome. That person is not on the stage. Let me give you a clue. He's a man who has abundance of patience, has Vak Shuddhi, or the ability to speak with purity, has strong sankalpa, which is determination, and he works tirelessly and volunteer, is the role model for so many volunteers that you see across in this event. I hope you know who that person is. If not, I would like to welcome Dr. Subhash Malgar, who is the President of JSS. Subhash, where are you? Studied. So he reads, definitely another round of applause. He is the man behind the Thank you, finally, this day would not have come to a fruition if not for the hard work, endless hours, and true dedication of my fellow board members, various engineering consultants, county officials, priests, and many volunteers. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kilara, for your introductions of our wonderful esteemed guests here today. Our next speaker will be Mr. Kumar Rajshekhar to talk about some of JSS's philanthropic work.
Your Holiness Shivaratri Deshakendra Swamiji, Your Holiness Sachidananda Swamiji, honored guests, very good friends, Casey, Lily, Awaruna. Next, Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, Ken Roger, Mark Elridge, all honored guests, thank you for being here. And to all the well-wishers, devotees, volunteers, and first-time visitors. Good morning, and we have reached a tremendous milestone today. Thank you all for being present and participating in this groundbreaking ceremony. Many of you may be aware that JSS has over 300 institutions, primarily in the field of education, from kindergarten to postgraduate institutions and postdoctoral research centers. JSS institutions cater to the educational needs of over 100,000 students annually. However, today, I want to talk to you and share with you a little bit about the philanthropic side of JSS. Under the spiritual guidance and compassionate leadership of His Holiness, JSS is focused like a laser beam to the plight of the poor, the underprivileged, the physically and mentally differently abled children. And I'll be informing you of some of these different categories of philanthropy that JSS is engaging in. First of all, free boarding. There are many, many free orphanages and hostels. In fact, my father resided in one of these hostels when he was getting his education. So there's so many, I will name a few and then move on. KSS Orphanage, JSS Hostel, Jagadguru Sri Shivaratri Prasada Nilaya in Mysore, JSS Vidyarthi Nilaya, JSS Destitute Children's Home, JSS Pre-Metric Boys Hostel in Chittoor, JSS orphanages in many, many locations throughout India, Jagadguru Sri Shivaratri Pre-Metric, JSS Home for Destitute Children, JSS Hostel for Differently Abled Working Women and Girl Students, and Sri Basaveshwara Orphanage. All of these are completely free, as you can imagine, for all of these housing and boarding all of these kids. The next category, education. In 1962, JSS built a school in the village of Chittoor to house and educate 4,000 students every year, completely free for those who cannot pay. The students, as you can imagine, come from all over India and from poverty-stricken areas. The school provides education from nursery school up to the 10th grade in both English and Kannada mediums. Regarding the school, I want to share with you something very interesting and poignant I learned speaking with His Holiness this week. Every year, the school has a welcome and a registration event for all of the children and their families. School offers meals for everyone, as is always the case whenever you go to JSS, and prepares to register students, assigning them beds, introduce them to teachers and administrators. But invariably, hundreds of students are simply left at the school without proper registrations being done. Teachers and administrators find out later that the children are simply left at the school to avoid embarrassment or scrutiny. Just imagine how confident those families are to leave their children in the hands and the care of JSS. Another philanthropic cause is JSS Healthcare. Families of Sutur village, where JSS was founded, has been brought under a single coverage called Model Health Village, which ensures free health care services to the villagers, hospital, dental clinic, Ayurvedic hospital, drug center, and ambulance services. They've all been established to offer complete health care for villagers. Then the JSS Health Center, started by Jagadguru Dr. Sri Shiratri Rajendra Mahaswamiji in 1963, has today evolved into a new JSS hospital facility with 1,800 beds under one roof. It's one of India's biggest hospitals. It also has one of the biggest critical and emergency care facilities with 260 beds. The motto of the hospital is to uphold the value of human life and provide advanced and affordable health care to all sections of society. Payments for medical services are based on income and highly discounted at this modern, state-of-the-art hospital. Other than these, JSS also operates an Ayurvedic hospital as well as a yoga and naturopathic hospital. Now, what about the assistance for the differently abled? JSS operates several schools and a polytechnic college for the differently abled. We educate differently abled children and create awareness among them about their rights and responsibilities. JSS strives to bring out their talent and potential and integrate them into mainstream society. Then how about the empowerment of women? JSS believes that the development of Indian society and the country at large is based on the empowerment of women, especially in the rural areas. JSS has given prominence to providing access to quality education to all women through established colleges in Mysore City and all rural areas. Some examples are JSS Polytechnic for women, and then there are 3 JSS colleges in southern India, and then a women's self-employment advisory center, which conducts several short-term courses for women and provides advisory services on starting their own business. Further, JSS is engaged in helping the unemployed, especially in rural areas, to gain vocational training. The JSS Rural Development and Self-Employment Training Institute identifies potential areas of employment and local talent to establish and maintain production centers. Well, these are just a few of the many, many philanthropic activities that JSS engages in throughout India and the world. And it is with this humanitarian outlook that we wish to develop and construct this JSS Hindu Temple and Community Center here in Gaithersburg, Maryland. As you all can imagine, constructing buildings and institutions to further these wonderfully humanitarian causes takes money. These philanthropic activities are possible only through the generous donations of local communities of India and from Indians living abroad. Now, turning back to JSS Spiritual Mission here at home. I think each of you received a packet, brochure, and inside that brochure is a pledge form. We'll have volunteers on the aisles to collect your pledge forms if you so wish to do that. But what you will hear about and what you heard about from Sanjay are the plans that we have to bring spirituality, peace, education, yoga, meditation, and healthy living to the community here in Gaithersburg. A few years ago, during a JSS anniversary event, I asked the audience to close their eyes and imagine a serene environment surrounded by 52 acres of nature. Within the center of it, a spiritual and community center. We are now at the cusp of reaching that reality.
What?
Thanks
I need
to
someone
all
to
of you.
hold this. This is going live on
I thank you all for your kind attention.
Anybody?
and
Yeah, I need to
my
go back
remarks
and check.
with my respective pronouns.
We have live link already going on. If you want YouTube live link.
Yeah, we passed that also, but our own folks are, checking this live.
Thank you very much, Kumar Rajshankar, for enlightening us on the JSS mission.
But I think if
We
you are
have a
moving,
special
try
guest
to-
on stage
Yeah,
with us. We
just
would
all
like
you
to
can do is
welcome
like,
Prakash
if you want to
Balagati
like
from
zoom
the
it,
Global Hindu
to
Heritage
focus on
Foundation.
people.
Please put your hands together.
Otherwise, so let Alright, just hold it like this. I'll be back.
Next guest of honor is Aruna Miller. Ms. Miller is an American politician and member of the Democratic Party from the state of Maryland. Ms. Miller is a former member of the Maryland House of Delegates representing the Legislative District 15 in Montgomery County. Currently, Ms. Miller is on the ballot for the Democratic candidate as a Lieutenant Governor for the state of Maryland, alongside of Westmore, who is running for the governor. Please welcome her.
Namaskaram, na peru, mera naam, my name is Aruna Miller. And I am so honored to be your Democratic nominee for Lieutenant Governor along with my friend Westmore for Governor. And I want to thank His Holiness Swamiji, to all the dignitaries that are here today, Reverend Caseman, County Executive Mark Eldridge, my representative, Lily Chi, Delegate Lily Chi, the representatives from U.S. Senator Cardin's office, Ken Reichert, and to Kumar, Sheila, and Marissa for all their hospitality. And most importantly, I want to thank every one of you for being here, for your devotion, for your commitment to making our community better. So thank you for being here. I first met His Holiness Swamiji in 2012 in Baltimore. And then I came here to the JSS spiritual mission in 2017. And I listened as they told me about their vision for the longer outlook for the JSS, to be able to build upon these 50 acres. And how about that? In 1999, as you heard earlier, the seed was planted, and here we are, 23 years later. The seed has taken deep roots in this community, and you are going to leave a lasting legacy here in Gaithersburg, Maryland, for the JSS mission. So I came to this country from India when I was 7 years old in 1972. Growing up, I can recall my dad performing yoga and meditation as a daily ritual. He would insist that my siblings and I do the same in pursuit to find enlightenment. But my dad woefully miscalculated just how immature 3 kids could be under the age of 12. We were less interested in focusing on our third eye and more concerned about missing Saturday morning cartoons. When it came to enlightenment, let's just say we weren't ready for prime time. We watched as our dad would go into deep thoughts, as if he were sleeping and as if the world around him had just vanished. He didn't feel the vibrations of our bodies hitting the carpeted floor as my sister, my brother, and I failed miserably to balance ourselves on our head as we tried to do our headstands. He didn't hear the childish ways that we burst into laughter as we watched one another tumbling down. We didn't understand it then, but we do today. My dad wasn't asleep, he was awakened. He wasn't indifferent to us. He was detached from his ego. He wasn't unconscious. He was listening. It is said that to pray is to talk to God. To meditate is to listen to God. That minuscule pause between our inhale and exhale, the seemingly disregarded gap, is where my dad disconnected from a limited external world and floated into an infinite internal universe, where he was physically, mentally free from his thoughts, but spiritually connected as one with the universe. We understand that we are not human beings having a spiritual experience, but rather we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Similarly, the JSS mission provides the spiritual guidance to all the devotees, and it shares this mission of the greater good that our faith can lead us to, from feeding the soul to helping those in need to sharing our rich Indian culture with others. So on behalf of Westmore, myself, and our entire team, thank you for opening your house of faith to us and putting your faith into action every single day. Remember, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you become is your gift to God. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aruna Miller, and we have blessings from Swamiji. Thank you, Ms. Arnold Miller, for very kind words. In case many of you received packets when you came into this program, if you open up the packet, you will see a form like this that discusses the ways to support our community. Like Kumara was talking, like Ms. Arnold Miller was talking, and we thank you for your support. Our next guest was Reverend Casey Casement. Casement has a long career serving as a pastor, founding and leading nonprofits, serving on regional and national boards, and being the interfaith community liaison for Montgomery County. In these roles, Reverend Casement engaged government, nonprofits, and faith communities in creating more compassionate, equitable, inclusive, and resilient communities. Reverend Casement is a great friend of JSS and assisted tremendously by advocating for us with the county, which in turn has allowed us to have this groundbreaking ceremony today. We welcome him to this ceremony and invite him to say a few words.
His Holiness Dr. Guru, Swamiji, venerable faith leaders, honorable public officials, distinguished guests and friends. Words cannot adequately express the pride and joy I feel sharing in this groundbreaking ceremony. I began rejoicing several weeks ago when my good friend Kumar called to say the final, I think it was at least the 15th permit had been signed, making today possible. You see, I have been working over some 6-7 years with a remarkably resourceful group of engineers and architects, lawyers, accountants, business leaders, most of them voluntarily contributing their talent, time, and treasure. It was a long, years-long and frustrating, challenging process by which most reasonable people would have given up. But you've been motivated by more than reason You share the vision of His Holiness, Father Guru, for establishing this spiritual center. You have understood the importance of having a place where you and your children and their children, where your neighbors and my neighbors could come together for spiritual enlightenment, sharing spiritual practices through which we come to transcend all lines of difference. What you are giving to Montgomery County, the state of Maryland, indeed the world, is priceless. By sharing your sacred rituals, art, literature, sacred texts, hospitality, you are broadening all of our appreciation for the richness of divine diversity and for deepening our personal spirituality. I have experienced this in every meeting held over these years, whether it be here or in the conference rooms of the Department of Permitting Services or the Office of the County Executive. You carried with you not only the plans for a physical structure, but a spirit of compassion and clear vision for, and I quote, integrating human spirituality. Nothing in the world today is more important. There is no better way for overcoming the divisions, the hate and violence, the nationalistic and authoritarian movements of our time than turning inward and using spiritual disciplines to discover we are, as Arnold has just reminded us, spiritual beings having human experiences. That's what we most need today. Because it's at this point that we recognize the divine image within ourselves and recognize at once our common humanity, knowing beyond any measure of doubt that we are sisters and brothers of one human family. In dedicating the JSS Hindu Temple to integrating human spirituality, you are devoting yourselves to nothing less than what in the Judeo-Christian tradition is known as the kingdom of God, a reign of love, justice, and righteousness, or right relationships, or what our spiritual brother Martin Luther King referred to as the beloved community, a place where every basic human need is met and every human right respected. And what Mahatma Gandhi referred to in saying, our ability to reach unity and diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. And I paraphrase to say, our community. Today we celebrate the end of the permitted process and the beginning of actually building a temple for integrating human spirituality. It's a priceless gift, deserving far more than our gratitude. It deserves our gifts of prayer, administrative and legislative assistance, and financial support. I'm sure of being in very good company by feeling dedicated to this mission and wanting it to flourish for the sake of enjoying the richness of your culture and creating a more compassionate, unitive, and resilient Montgomery County. Thank you. And may the divine continue to bless you and all of us as we move together into an open, and thanks to you, a far more promising future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together for our next guest, Lily Chi. Lily Chi is an American politician who represents the 15th District in the Maryland House of Delegates. Mrs. Chi previously worked as the Chief Administrator for Economic Development under Ike Leggett. During her work there, she has helped JSS to initiate discussions with the county and land use professionals regarding moving the best way forward to achieve our goal for this 52-acre property. We invite Mrs. Chi to share a few words with us, please.
Thank you. Good morning. I am very excited to be with you today to celebrate this momentous occasion of groundbreaking for the JSS Spiritual Missions Temple and the Community Center. I have to say, that was the most fabulous and special groundbreaking I have ever attended. You know, first of all, I am Delegate Lily Chi. I represent Montgomery County in the Maryland State House, succeeding Aruna Miller, who is going to be our next Lieutenant Governor, and she will be the first Indian American and Asian American Lieutenant Governor in Maryland history. We are so proud of her and all of us. I consider myself an old friend of the JSS Spiritual Mission, because this was where I learned a lot about your cultural heritage. And as a Chinese immigrant who grew up in another culture and the language, I understand the importance of communities organizing ourselves to worship freely and to be able to put down our roots. This was where I first met His Holiness over a decade ago. And this was also where I made some good friends, including Kumar Rajasekera. Thank you so much for your invitation. When I received the email invitation from Kumar a few weeks ago, I sat in front of my computer and let out a big cheer of joy, because I couldn't believe that day has finally arrived. It took only 14 years, right? Well, I'm glad we are here, and this is a story of perseverance. This is a story of determination. This is a story of overcoming. Before my elective office as a Maryland State Delegate, I had the honor of working as a county government official in Montgomery County. And I had a big old binder that's marked JSS Spiritual Mission, because we had so many meetings with Department of Permit, with the local communities, because whenever you want to build something, you inevitably run into kind of roadblocks, bureaucracies, and this whole maze of the permitting processes that nobody seems to be able to understand. That they speak certain languages, you know, and then some community pushbacks, right? But thank you for sticking it out there, and thank all of you, government officials and engineers and lawyers, for making this day possible. There's a big lesson for all of us in government to learn, which is it shouldn't take a decade and a half for a house of worship to put down your roots. We can do much better as government, as your partner, to enable our community's growth. Because if we truly value diversity, we want to not just say we value diversity. We need to show that we are a welcoming community by making it much easier to put down your roots. Because where community put down our roots is where we build the families, we build the businesses, and we build the communities. Thank you for making this day possible, and thank you for all that you do to build Montgomery County and our greater community. And I would like to finally congratulate you and present you with a citation on behalf of the Maryland Legislature.
Thank you. This is Swamiji. We have blessings from Swamiji. next guest will be Mr. M. Krishnan. He is a poet, humorous speaker, Indian folk singer, and retired Kannada professor. He has performed on both television and stage to the delight of global audiences. Professor Krishnan has been long associated with JSS, and we invite him to share an Indian folk song on this special occasion. Please take your seats and enjoy the show.
Let me begin with a prayer of the Guru. Jatila kukila tava antaranga babu bhava vipina sanchari संचारी अंतर Namaskar everyone. At the outset, let me offer my humble pranams to the lineage of great spiritual saints of the great Suttur Much. I prostrate before the humble lotus feet of Jagat Guru Sri Sri Shivratri Deshiketa Swamiji, and also a great spiritual master of India, Sri 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 Ganapati Sachidananda Swami. I feel most honored and blessed to be a part of this auspicious program today in the United States of America. I just want to quote an anecdote. Over a century ago, Swami Vivekananda, I think you all know, he is the great spiritual master of India. He had come to the United States to participate mainly in the spiritual congress held at Chicago. By the way, he was touring all around the United States. He used to have discourses with people, and most of them are the citizens of America. During the course of his discourse, one of the person who was in the assembly of people, he asked Swami Vivekananda, Swamiji, could you please tell me what is the national ideal for India? What is the national ideal for India? Swamiji immediately said, the national ideal for India, I tell you two factors. One is service and another one is renunciation. Service and renunciation are the two national ideals for India. The rest will take care by itself. Thus said Swami Vivekananda. People could not understand what is renunciation. Again, I want to quote an anecdote. One of our Swamijis visited the United States about 20 years ago. As you see, Swamijis, they wear saffron attire. one of his disciples, he came to airport, received Swamiji, and his son was curiously looking at Swamiji. What is this attire is all about? This is a saffron attire, a unique color, single color. And the next day, Swamiji came to his place with the same attire. And the curious child asked his father, Dad, why your Swamiji is wearing the same attire every day? Could he not afford one more color?
I can ask him.
And his dad
ask him to
answered the child, Dear son,
yeah, I'll be. Yeah.
we have come to United States
Okay, let's go.
to acquire wealth. We came here chasing money and material luxuries. And you know, this saffron attire is the symbol of service and renunciation. We chase material luxuries, but we worship service and renunciation for the reason they sacrifice whole of their life in the service of mankind. Dear friends, I feel so happy and blessed today. Suturmat has been in the service of mankind over 1,000 years. 1,000 years. All the spiritual gurus, they have extended their arms, their divine arms, not only in the service of spirituality, also to the total upliftment of the society. Thank you very much for being given an opportunity to me. Also, I request all the people here, I think most of the people are Indian community, to extend your support in the building of the spiritual temple in the United States. Thank you very much. I will conclude this again with a Kannada folk song. Kannada is one of the most beautiful languages of the world, I tell you. And it's the most musical language. This is a prayer of Malay Maheshwara, a very important deity in Karnataka. ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೂವಾಗಿ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿತು ನಿನ್ನ ಪರಸೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಟಗಾರ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ಹೂವು ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಟಗಾರ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ನಿನ್ನ ಪರಸೆ ಕಲ್ಲಚ್ಚಿ ಕಣಿವೆ ಇಳಿದಾರು ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ಬರುವಾಗ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಗಮ್ಮಂದು ಮಾಡಾದಲಿಗರಿಗೆ ಚಿಗುರೀವೋ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ಬರುವಾಗ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ಗಮ್ಮಂದು ಮಾಡಾದಲಿಗರಿಗೆ ಚಿಗುರೀವೋ ಮಾಡಾದಲಿಗರಿಗೆ ಚಿಗುರೀವೋ ಮಾದೇವು ಮೂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆಯೂ ಸುರಿದಾವು ಓ ಮೂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆಯೂ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮುಳುಗಿದರೇನು ಕತ್ತಾರಾದಾರೇನು ಅಪ್ಪ ನಿನ ಮಲೆಗೆ ಬರುವೇವು ಓಹೋ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮುಳುಗಿದರೇನು ಕತ್ತಾರಾದಾರೇನು ಅಪ್ಪ ನಿನ ಮಲೆಗೆ ಬರುವೇವು ಅಪ್ಪ ನಿನ ಮಲೆಗೆ ಬರುವೇವು ಮಾದೇವು ಮುತ್ತಿನ ಬಾಗಿಲ ತೆರೆದೇವು ಓ ತುಪ್ಪಾದಾರದಿಯ ಬೆಳಗೇವು ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೂವಾಗಿ ಚೆಲ್ಲೀತು ನಿನ್ನ ಪರಸೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಟಗಾರ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ಓಹೋ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಟಗಾರ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ನಿನ್ನ ಪರಸೆ ಕಲ್ಲ
After that.
Today, we have Ken Reichard with us. He is the assistant to U.S. Senator Ben Carter, and he is here on behalf of the President. He's here on his behalf to present us with a salutation to our community from the Senator.
Second one. No, the first one and
Mr. Reichard is also here on behalf of Senator Chris Van Hollen's office. Unfortunately, Mr. Chris Van Hollen's State Director, Ashimat Dalwar, tested positive for COVID last week and could not attend our event today. We wish her a very speedy recovery. May we request Mr. Reichard to come up and share a few words with us, please?
Good afternoon. I believe it is supposed to be an afternoon anyhow. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm have the honor of being here at your groundbreaking and also being invited by your religious community to participate in this event. I have the honor also of representing Senator Gordon, but also Chris Van Hollen today. As Joe Biden said Thursday afternoon, that's two of the best senators we have in the U.S. Senate. So Maryland should be very proud of that. I'm going to keep these remarks short because I'm sure everybody is a little bit on the collar right now. I had to take my tie off. I was perspiring so much. But anyhow, this ground is very precious now. And you have 50 acres to give to your community and expand your community for many years to come. And I'm just sorry that it took so long for you to be able to get started on this particular adventure. If the two senators were here today, I'm sure they would congratulate you on getting to this point, and I want to congratulate you as well. So have a good afternoon, and once again, congratulations for having such a magnificent location for your temple.
Thank you, Mr. Roger, for those words from the Senator's office. We have, if you guys see volunteers walking around on the sides, we are collecting donations today, and there's a form within the booklet that all of you receive. If you see any volunteers along the side, that's what they're there for. Yeah. So our next guest will be Mr. Anshul Sharma from the Embassy of India. Mr. Sharma is the officer in charge of the Education and Community Affairs Department. The Education Department is involved in strengthening of the India-US education partnership and interacting with all Indian students in the US. We invite Mr. Sharma to address the audience.
Namaskara, Your Holiness Jagadguru Swamiji, dignitaries on the dais, dear diaspora members, friends, on behalf of Embassy of India, I congratulate JSS Spiritual Mission on Bhoomi Pujan of temple and community center today. JSS Spiritual Mission plays a very important role in keeping our diaspora connected to their roots and meeting their spiritual and cultural needs. But also it plays a very important role in promoting Black College, and our diaspora members know it more as alma mater of US Vice President Her Excellency Kamala Harris.
Can you hold it?
And for this year, Howard University chose JSS Hospital and School of Pharmacy to showcase a successful example of India-US education collaboration. In fact, JSS School of Pharmacy and Howard University School of Pharmacy have a very successful partnership. There is a student and expertise exchange, and that a virtual event also took place in January 2022 where I represented Embassy, and JSS School of Pharmacy and Howard, Dean of Howard School of Pharmacy were all part of that event. So I again wish JSS Spiritual Mission very best for their future endeavors and for keeping up their great work and promoting India-US bilateral relationship. Thank you, Jai
Can you
Hind.
hold the phone while Papa is here? Oh. My armpit.
Our next guest is Mark Eller. Mark Eller was elected as Montgomery County Executive Number 6. He previously served 3 terms on the Montgomery County Council as a member at large. The first elected in 2016. He served as a council member on the Tacoma Park City Council from 1987 to 2006. For 17 years, he was a teacher at the Rolling Terrace Elementary School in Tacoma Park. We welcome Community Executive Albert to the podium to share his words, please.
This is a really momentous occasion, and I'm sorry you endured such a long and arduous route through our permitting department. But I can tell you that one of the first things that we've set out to do is to change our permitting department and the way we put things through processes. We actually did a listening tour, and we asked people to tell us what. And not many people go out and ask to get the bad news, but we wanted to get the bad news because you can't fix anything unless you know what's broken. So we've done a lot of work to try to become a better place. I am so glad you're here to celebrate your successful transition through that process, and this really is a huge milestone. I want to thank all the volunteers and all the devotees who supported you through all these years. Without your constant devotion and perseverance, we wouldn't be here today. And I want to especially thank Kumar Rajasekara for inviting me today to join you to share a few words, and all the advisory members and organizations who made this event happen. This is the second Indian event I've gone to this weekend. I was at the Crowley Canada Gala celebrating 50 years of their organization in Montgomery County, and that is really important. I've also, we'll be going in a few days to the beginning of the Indian independence celebrations. And Indian independence is one of the major achievements of the 20th century. It was the overthrowing of the British colonial rule in England, which led to the eventual dissolution of most of the British Empire. And it's good to know that India stood at the forefront of beginning to lead the collapse of the British Empire. And that's a remarkable achievement. Here in Montgomery County, we are a very diverse community. Our Asian community is almost 16% of the population. Our African American community is 18%. The Hispanic population is 20%. And the rest is Anglo Muslim. So this is a pretty diverse county now. It's no longer a majority county of any one population. And we have worked, starting particularly with Ike Leggett, who was the previous executive, to make this county a more welcoming place for everyone. And when people come here, and they come here for the same reason my grandparents came here, to lead a better life and to find new opportunities.
Take your bag and go.
They should get extended to them the same things that were extended to my family a little over 100 years ago. So this is, part of Montgomery County. You're a really important part of the fabric of Montgomery County. And I really do appreciate working with you. Your community during COVID played a pretty remarkable role. Montgomery County's government could not alone have handled the testing, could not have handled the vaccinations, could not have fed people, could not have clothed people, were it not for the work of the faith communities, plural, in this county. You're standing up and helping make sure that the people of this county were well fed and well taken care of and had access to health care were really important. So I want to thank you for your contribution to getting us through COVID. It's without that, we would not be the most vaccinated places in the United States. We wouldn't have a death rate that's 2/3 of the death rate in the rest of the country. It didn't happen by government alone. It happened because of the residents of the county, and you're a big part of that. I know that, in your faith tradition, and in frankly many of the Eastern faith traditions, there is a great deal given to thought and introspection and the value of community. And I will say that, these communities play a remarkable role in giving. I am constantly amazed at the willingness with which people open their time, their wallets, their hearts to other people in ways that not everybody does in America today. And that your willingness to give back to a community that welcomed you here is noted by myself and many other people, and I want you to know how much I appreciate your perspective. I also appreciate your perspective on education, because you know that the purpose of knowledge is not just to hang a plaque on your wall, it's to use that knowledge to make society better. And you recognize the accumulation of wealth is not just to simply demonstrate your wealth to other people, but to use that wealth to build your community. And this facility here is going to be an example of that. We're able to reach out to people, you'll educate people, you'll help them with their mental health, you'll help them with their physical health. All those things you do at some sacrifice to yourselves, because you all have this commitment and love for the people around you. I recognize that and I appreciate it. So thank you very much for having me. I hope I see some of you at the Independence Day celebrations. It is a notable event in human history. Thank you very much.
Next, Swamiji will felicitate Amarnath Gora.
ఇక్కడ పెట్టచ్చు కదా ఇక్కడ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు కదా అది ఇట్లా ఓపెన్ చేస్తే కదా
Please put your hand together for Prakash Vadaputi.
Thank you all for your kind words. Next, we'd like to hear a few words from a longtime JSS community member on the temple we're all excited for. Please join me in welcoming Jai Shri Jagdish to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed the Bhoomi Pooja and the gracious presence of Sri Ganapati Mahaswamiji and also our own Judge Deshikendra Mahaswamiji. And that historic moment is here. After 14 years, we were able to successfully perform the Bhoomi Puja. And as the tradition, even when we are constructing the home, after the Gudri Puja, what do? Apply for loans, beg our parents, friends for loans, and start the construction. So we are here today, and I take this proud moment to announce some of the people who have pledged or made full donation in such a short time of couple of days. And here they are. There is some anonymous donation, $10,000 towards the library. Give them a big hand, please. This is in honor of Mrs. Sarlaben and Sarlaben C. Patel. Saurabh Nayak, $1,000 towards the classroom.
This is not showing.
Prabhu Panchal, $1,008 towards the general temple construction. Now comes Kumar Rashikara. Today is Sheila's birthday. Happy birthday, Sheila! In honor of her birthday and also Marisa is donating $10,001 for the dance room. Our yoga guru, Sanjat Surgunte, has been teaching yoga since the inception for the past 14 years, and because of him we are all here today, because he has energized us, and he is donating $15,000 towards the yoga room. Rajendra and Savita Mahadevappa. Without them, I don't think we would have been here today. We have been praying in this temporary makeshift temple for the past all these years. He used to come every weekend, leaving a small baby at home, and he came and constructed that in person, all that, and he deserves a big applause than anyone else. And he has given $10,001. And now comes the big one. Sammy, Savita, Shiva, Shankar, and Shruti Shanmugam. $510,001. Guruna and Veena Rajapuram, $50,001 towards Chamundeshwari Garbhagiri in honor of Shivananda Swami Surukote. The pledges are keeping coming, and I believe that you all have the pledge forms in the folders which were on the seats. And please fill out and let them keep coming. There are volunteers who are collecting them. Please make your pledges. No amount is small. Honey, honey, kudidre halla, tene tene kudidre rashi. So please donate generously. This is your temple. You have to make it as our own place. We did not have to buy the land. Thanks to Swamiji, he is doing this for our purpose, our growth, our sanity, and our children's future. Please open your pockets and donate generously. Next comes Saroja and Harekote Vishwanath, $2,000. Rajeshwari and Sridhara, $1,000. Venkata, Police Secretary, $1,000. Suresh and Rupa Dasari. Rupa is the teacher and Suresh is the backbone of this spiritual mission. They have donated $10,001. In the name of, with all their family, Suresh, Rupa, Sadhana and Satvik. Okay, here comes Uma and Nijgun Prasad's family, $1,001. Mrityunjaya Mahashetty, $5,000. Oh, sorry, Mrityunjaya Chinnappa, $5,000.
This is recording. But when? I just came.
Vishwamitra, $2,000.
Yeah,
it's done. Oh, reconnect the internet.
Dr. Prabhudeva Kodana, $100,000.
Internet.
I can't tell you the importance of this mission. Having been growing with my children along with this mission, our children have been benefited so much. And the Sunday school, which Puttaraju and Niku, with the help of so many teachers, it goes long and long if I start mentioning all the names of the teachers, that has laid the basic foundation of our heritage and culture and the real Samskriti in our kids. And the living example is Krishnan Naganhalli. Where is he? He came as a very young boy and now he is working as a software engineer and speaks Kannada, knows spiritual aspects of life. Yes, we can have a very nice job, we can make money, big house, everything. But we have to ask ourselves, does it give the peace of mind or the sanity of within ourselves with all this? At the end of the day, ಈ ಗುಬ್ಬಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ಗೂಡನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ಆಗ ನಮಗೆ ದೇವರನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಆಗ ತಯಾರಿಕೆಯಾದಾಗ ಬಾವಿ ತೋಡೋದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಈಗಲಿಂದನೇ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದೇರ್ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ರಿಯಲಿ ನೀಡ್ ಇಟ್. And also people will ask me, will Goddess bless only those people who give money? No. There is a Basveshwara Vachana, ಉಳ್ಳವರು ಶಿವಾಲಯವ ಮಾಡುವರು ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಲಿ ಬಡವನಯ್ಯ ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯೋ ನಾವು ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ we go for birthday celebration, anniversary celebrations and any reason we spend hundreds of dollars in the restaurants, the bars and then cut a cake and everything. But I don't say that you have to sacrifice that. Minimize that celebration and then give that some of your money. And Guru Raj Karshi used to, if you have heard his one of the speeches, there used to be a lady of the house who was a grandmother. He has sons, daughter-in-laws, grandsons, everybody. They were big philanthropists. They used to give so much money to everybody. But at the end of the day, when the Ajji used to sit for dinner, she used to put her plate and then put little bit aside. And the husband and children asked her, we have given so much already, why are you putting this? This is the part that I have and I am giving whatever the portion, what I have to the people, so the beggars and the birds, animals, whatever it is. So when we are born into this world, it is our duty to give whatever we can. I can't stress enough on that. And also there are two ways how we can do. When the Jeopardy person who had cancer, there was an interview. He was asked, even when you have pancreatic cancer, why are you still working? In between the pain, he used to take pain medication and record the shows. He said, this is for money, man. What is shortage of money for you? You have been for so long. This is Alex Trebek. He says, okay, there are people who are born in this world who are blessed and who get opportunities like me. But then there are some people who don't have that opportunity. So I am working for them. So there are more pledges here. Umesh Murthy, Dr. Uma Murthy, Ankit, Pulkit and Parnika. They are pledging $15,000. He is the main artist. Don't be. In memory of Gopal Krishna Setti and Nagaratnama, $5,000. And there are forms there, still it is not too late. And then one more thing is, if you are in the retirement age, you will get required minimum distributions. When you take the money, you pay the tax on that money. But if you donate that money directly to the non-profit organization like ours, you will get that benefit of tax. So if you did it on your own with the minimum deductions, we won't be able to get. That is one thing. And then also I was asking for one woman who was saying that I want to retire this year. But you know, I want to save that amount. I want to work for another year, not for myself, but for this JSS spiritual mission. Whatever the money I earn for the next 1 year, that is for the spiritual mission. So let us give them a big hand. These are just the ideas I'm giving. Murthy, yes, and Hira Duvuri. They are giving on behalf of Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji $1,008. Thank you very much. Get your pledges ready and I am coming back again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharti. We would like to invite Dr. Subhash Palman to the stage to share a few words of wisdom with us. I would also like everybody to please take a seat so everybody can be respectful of their time and space here today. Thank you.
Dear friends and inviters, what an auspicious day we are experiencing. We have been dreaming for this day for a long time. We are delighted to see such a large crowd coming to celebrate with us. Thank you for being here. This is a God-given gift that two enlightened Buddhists are amongst us. What good karma have we done? I'm sure we have done a lot of good karma. That's why we are amongst them today. I am Subhash Mulgan, serving as the chairman of the advisory board of the committee. We just heard from Just before starting the meeting, you heard from Yoga Guru Sanjay Solgutte. Sorry you were not able to see the video. We will come back to show how beautiful the temple is looking when it comes into reality. You watched the groundbreaking ceremony and you watched beautiful image that you saying in front of you. Please keep your eyes on that screen. Of course, with time, this image is likely to fade. Before it fades, let us get into action. Let us commit to build and celebrate the opening ceremony in 2025. When you create a holy sanctuary, a temple, you create something that improves the spiritual life of your family, of another family, maybe of 10 families, maybe thousands of families. There is no higher calling than to make a difference in the people's lives by providing a place for spiritual heaven. Let me share a few thoughts how the JSS spiritual mission has been making a difference in the people's lives and how you have been benefiting from those activities. Many a times I have heard, I would like to come to JSS spiritual mission because it offers me deep positive vibrations. Very many have expressed they like to come here because Prakash's dosa and other savories. I have heard repeatedly how our priests are knowledgeable and how affectionate they are in dealing with the devotees at the temple and the devotees' homes. One of the shelters in the Montgomery County had lots of praise for the Indian meals that we provided. One of our longest running programs in yoga, guided by Sanjay Solgutte, is a very successful one, having improved the lives of many, many of us. I am a poster person of what yoga can do for you. I'm not exaggerating, my flexibility has never been better. Our Sunday school has produced some of the outstanding talents and have presented award-winning performances and personally excelled in their life. Above all, children have learned Indian values at the Sunday school. Trishul Nagenali, the co-MC Trishul Nagenali, co-MC of today's event, grew up in the Sunday school and we are very proud of him. What he has done in his life is a lot of benefit. Congratulations. On numerous occasions, after watching our Sunday school performances, I heard visitors from India telling, these are the blessed children and parents to be able to maintain the Indian culture 10,000 miles away. This is a great tribute to all our teachers and Putraju's leadership. This could not have happened without the JS spiritual mission gift from Swamiji. Just being in his physical presence is a special blessing. Many of you have had a blessed moment when His Holiness called from India to inquire how you're doing or congratulate on your big success. What a special blessing to receive the Guru calling across the world to make sure that you are in his shadow at all times. I can go on. There are three more pages of describing how we have made a difference in the community and the lives of the people. The main reason I'm telling you all this is I personally need, and you need, a place that truly is ours to create a sense of belongingness. This sense of community or connectedness or belongingness to a special group is a basic human need that we must satisfy to maintain our identity, our physical well-being, and mental health. The most crucial ingredient to building a sense of belongingness is collective effort of all of us. Since 2007, persevering with unwavering determination to make today's event come true. All the while, keeping our hearts filled with gratitude for this present and His holiness has blessed us. Now that we are here, imagine how joyful it will be to build a temple on this site. This temple will be the spiritual oasis and the sanctuary that we will be proud to say we built into God's grace and Swamiji's blessings. We are beyond yesterday's permitting issues, and today we are happily celebrating the dream of tomorrow. Thanks to the county officials and all involved engineers on our team for making this happen. Special mention goes to Dr. Babu Kilara. The man's is second to none. We were very happy that he has been on our team. The ASS spiritual mission has been a great gift, a present from our holy gurus, Sri Shivratri Deshikananda Swamiji to us. With this gift, he handed over the responsibility to all of us to take it to any heights of our imagination. To ourselves, we are yet to show to ourselves that we can grow this gift into a large tree that will provide us shelter or spiritual growth for many generations. Let me tell you a short story about gifts from the Holy Gurus. Long ago, a holy saint decided to go on a pilgrimage. Before going, he called his two disciples and gave them 2 peanuts each and asked them to take good care of them. One disciple wrapped the 2 peanuts in a nice cloth and kept it in a safe place. The one disciple planted them in the ashram to grow more. His crops kept multiplying. In a few years, he had a few acres of peanut farm. He had started sharing with the villagers, and the villagers started helping him to cultivate the farm. Soon, he had outgrown the ashram land, and every villager had sufficient peanuts. When the saint returned a few years later, both disciples eagerly wanted to share what they had done with the saint's gift. The peanuts of the first disciple had been completely eaten by the insects. And the 2 main peanuts of the second had multiplied so much that the entire village was receiving the gift of peanuts. This story resonated with me so much in my heart that it blossomed my feelings of gratitude to a deeper level and prompted me to answer the higher calling of growing this gift for the benefit of all that want to share with us. Will you join us in our crusade to grow this gift for the greater good? I am asking you, will you join us in this crusade to build a new temple for the good of all of us? I'm not hearing you. I want bigger voice. I want a bigger voice. Let me repeat one more time. Will you join me? Will you join us to build a new temple on this ground and celebrate into 2025 the coming of the new temple? Thank you. Wonderful. Somewhere beyond the blocking of your mind, is there a beautiful temple you are there to see? Do you hear the voice? Do you hear the distant music of drums and flutes of the inaugural ceremony at the temple opening in 2025? It is the future that we are desiring to see and experience. To that future, let us send collective vibrations. People who vibrate at the same frequency vibrate towards each other. They call it in science sympathetic vibrations.
I'm gonna get my battery connected.
These vibrations are the most powerful and valuable spiritual medicine God has blessed us. Try it, you will like it, you will like the results. Let us ingrain in our hearts the image that you're seeing of the new temple on your hearts, on your minds, so that the collective vibrations will materialize into the physical reality of the temple. There is no higher calling or a greater privilege known to man than being involved in the community good. When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. It is not how much we give, it is how much love we put into giving. Let me resonate this again. It is not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. So it multiplies. Let me wrap up with the following appeal. The time to give life to the dream is now. Let us get in the arena and battle for your dream. Build the temple and the community center by 2025 and celebrate success. Let me repeat again my appeal to your heart. The time to give life to the dream is now. Let us get in the arena and battle for your dreams. Build the temple by 2025 and celebrate success. Thank you and God bless all.
Thank you, Malgana, for the higher calling. I would like to request Prakash or Yadav to come on stage and introduce our next guest.
Jai Gurudatta, Sri Gurudatta. My salutations at the lotus feet of Jagat Guru, Shivaratri Deshmendra Swamiji and Jagat Guru Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji. It is a rare combination. You hear about bond between two people, two giants, two empires. So this is the example where you will see two mountains sitting side by side, working together, promote Sanatana Dharma, enrich our lives, guide us, counsel us, take us to a different level. That is the mission of both our giants sitting there. I have known Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji. I shouldn't say known. I don't know what word to use it, but for 32 years I have associated with Swamiji. Still I would not know what to say, how to say anything except whatever I have observed. That's all I am going to say. Because Guru Tattva is a concept nobody can comprehend, nobody can understand, nobody can decipher. See, it is so deep. The whole civilization is dependent on Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva is the pillar of our Sanatana Dharma. All of us have to recognize the significance and importance of Guru, Sadguru. If we did not have the Gurus and Sadgurus, there is no Sanatana Dharma. All the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, you tell me anything. Who composed it? who have written it. It is only the gurus. Somehow, this particular information is not passed on to the generations and generations. We have become orphans of Sanatana Dharma because we do not have adequate knowledge of the importance of Guru Tattva. So, Ganpati Satchidananda Swamiji is a pontiff of Avadhuta Dattapetu. He has been, as a Sadguru, blessing all his devotees with his watchful eyes. He gives joy and happiness and removes the sorrows of his devotees. Nobody can define a guru, but we will try by reading one verse from Pularnava Tantra. It says, O beloved, only that being who is fully aware of the oneness of microcosm and microcosm, who even knows the number of all nadis, bones and hairs, is in truth a guru. No one else can be called a guru. So that is the concept of guru. For most of us, all our devotees, that is Swamiji's devotees, affectionately call him in so many different ways. We can always, probably add some more. But he always describes Swamiji as a teacher, guru, sadguru, paramaguru, guru, guide, musician, composer, astasiddhi, yogi, a man of miracles, healer, doctor, yoga man, all kinds of things. And our children always call Sri Swamiji as a Tata and a Baba. So that is how affectionately the children are fond of Swamiji. Swamiji, as you all know, established Datta Yoga Center in the United States in 1986. Since that time, so he has been traveling every year and he established 8 centers. The biggest one would be Hanuman Temple in Frisco, Texas. And so that is a unique temple because it is an Agraharam in the United States. In these days, you don't even see Agraharams anywhere, even in India. Somehow, we have lost track of the significant importance of the Agraharam. So that is where Swamiji has created. About 200 families around the Hanuman Temple live, they come and volunteer, then you will see, you will have a different experience when you come to Frisco, Texas. Now, what is Swamiji has been telling all of us over so many years. So in 2015, so he completed the Hanuman Temple. At that time, so he requested the children to learn Bhagavad Gita, only 15 of them. So learn Bhagavad Gita by the time I come next year, that is 2016. So by that time, so 54 people, children, learn Bhagavad Gita, and by this year, so Swamiji received the Guinness World Record. Where 1,361 children memorized it, chanted it, created vibrations all over Texas and the United States. That is the kind of vibrations all these children simultaneously singing, chanting Bhagavad Gita. And that is a record by Guinness World Record, and only Swamiji can again break that record. We are hoping that he will do it in the next couple of years. And he also received so many other Guinness World Records, almost 7 of them, and we don't want to go to the whole list. But basically, if you go to Swamiji's ashram, it is almost like a Nadamayam. Everything that you see is music. It's a beautiful location. You will see the trees, you will see all the music, you will see the magnificent Nadamandapam, and you will see the magnificent Venkateswara temple, and so many things, but the time is limited. I will try to close it by saying prostrations to both the Swamiji's and whatever the relationship they have, but they always come together and then give us a benefit of receiving.
Is that live stream or just a recording?
So let us give them an applause and salute their bond. They will go back, see you.
May I request Murthy to come up on stage, please? I'm sorry, Umesh Murthy.
Bye, everybody.
Sorry, apologies for the little bit of confusion here. May we request Ganapati Swamiji to come up and provide his blessings to all of us, please?
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿ అందరూ చెప్పండి. Please repeat everyone. Everybody repeat. श्री महागणपते नमः. श्री सरस्वती नमः. श्रीपादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती వాడి సంకల్పంతో మా అందరూ కూడా పరమాత్ముడి సంకల్పంతో మా అందరూ ఇక్కడ చేరారు. And his creation to today's gathering in his grace. I can't explain about this miracle. About in this Peetam, in this mat and Datta Peetam. And Datta Peetam and the three generations relationship in our Peetam and Guru Peetam. Parma Pooja Guruji Guru Shivaya. My childhood 1962, 63, 64. I'm visiting and sitting with Swami, and he was writing only, he didn't talk anything. ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೂತ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ನಂದಿ ವಿಸಪ್ಪ ಅನ್ನೋರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ನಂದಿ ವಿಸಪ್ಪ ಮೈಸೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧಿಯಾಗಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಗಳು. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಪರಂಪರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ఆయన ఈయన గురువు గారు కూడా నాకు చాలా దగ్గర. అన్ని కార్యక్రమాలకు కూడా అకస్మాత్తు పీఠంలో ఏదైనా జరుగుతుంటే ఎక్కడ కూడా పరిగెత్తొచ్చారు. ఆయన కూడా ఈ ఒక పీఠాన్ని చేయాలన్న అమెరికాలో ఉన్నప్పుడు ಚನ್ನರಸಪ್ಪ ಅವರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚನ್ನರಸಪ್ಪ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಫೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಈ ಥರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ನನಗೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಶಿಷ್ಯರಾದ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ತುಂಬ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರು, ತುಂಬ చాలా దగ్గర ఆత్మీయులు, ఆధ్యాత్మికమైన ఆత్మీయులు. ఈరోజు భూమి పూజ ఉంది అనగానే లండన్లో కార్యక్రమం ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా దాన్ని పోస్ట్ పోన్ క్యాన్సిల్ చేసి, దుబాయ్లో కార్యక్రమం ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా పోస్ట్ పోన్ క్యాన్సిల్ చేసి, 2 ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಈ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ಗೆ ಸಮೂಹವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಲಯ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಮೊದಲಿನ 4-5 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲೂ రాజ్యంలో ఇదే నేను 45 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి రాజ్యంలో ఉన్నాను. మన డివైసి వాషింగ్టన్ వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇక్కడ వచ్చి ఈ పీఠాన్ని వాడుకునేవారు. ఇక్కడ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುವರು. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಸಂಬಂಧ ತುಂಬ ಅವನ ಒಂದು ಶಿವನ ಕೃಪೆ, వాడి యొక్క కృపతో ఈరోజు భూమి పూజ జరిగింది. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಶಿಲಾಭಕ್ತಿ, ನರಾಭಕ್ತಿ, ಶಿಲಾಭಕ್ತಿ, ನರಾಭಕ್ತಿ, ಸ್ಥಳಭಕ್ತಿ, ಆ 3 ಭಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ಕುದುರೆ ಪೂಜೆ ನಡೆಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅದು 3 ಸೇರಿಲ್ಲ. ಶಿಲಾ, ನರ, ಭೂಮಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸೇರಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸ್ಥಳ, ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಥಳ, ಭೂಮಿ, ನರ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಗ್ರಹಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಆವತ್ತೇ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಲಾಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ದಿನ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ 3 ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳು ಸೇರಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಈ ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಮೂಲಾಗಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ. ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ಚಂದ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಆ ರಾಜ ಆ ಆಲಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಆಲಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ ఆలయాన్ని కట్టాలని సంకల్పం చేసుకుంటే రాజులు కట్టేది వేరే, మనుషులు కట్టేది వేరే, యతీశ్వరుడు సంకల్పం చేసేది. అట్లా సంకల్పం చేసుకొని ఆలయాన్ని కట్టాలా అన్న తర్వాత నక్షత్రాలు ದೊಡ್ಡ ಯಜ್ಞ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಯಜ್ಞ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಿದೆ, ಜಾತಕ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದೆ. ಈ ಜಾತಕವಂತ ఇక్కడ ఉంది, ఈ నక్షత్రాలంతా ఇక్కడ పూర్తి ఉంది. అందుకే మనమంతా ఏం వాళ్ళంతా రావడానికి వెళ్ళాలన్న వాళ్ళు కూడా రాలేకపోయారు. ఏదో ఒక కారణం నిలిచిపోయారు. ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ನಿಂತೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನೋ ಕಾರಣ ಬೇಕಾಯಿತು, ಇಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ವಿಪರೀತವಾದಂತಹ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್, ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ತಾಪತ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಹೀಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಂದ
ಅವ್ರ ಜಾತಕ ಸೇರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಂತ ದುರಾದೃಷ್ಟ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಗುರು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಾಡುವ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ತಲೆ ನೆಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಕಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರದೇ ಸೇರಿ ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಲಯ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಆಲಯವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನಿನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಹಣ ಇದ್ದು ಭಿಕ್ಷೆ ಬೇಡಿ ಆಲಯ ಕಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಭಿಕ್ಷಮೆತ್ತಿ ಆಲಯ ಕಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ఎందుకంటే అన్ని నక్షత్రాలు చేరడానికి ఒక్కొక్కరికి ఏ 4 మిలియన్ అవుతుంది అంతే. దాంట్లో ఒక పెద్ద ఇల్లు తీసుకుంటాం, ಮನೆ ತಗೋಬೋದುನಾವು. ಯಾಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಒಂದು ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳು ಸೇರಿ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕೂಡ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಸೇರಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಬಲವಾದ ಒಂದು ಸೆಳೆತ ಇತ್ತು ನನಗೆ, ಬಲమైన ಒಂದು ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ದ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ attraction. I can't explain about attraction in today's program. దత్త కృప ఎంతవరకు ఉంది అంటే అది తెలియకనే జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಬಂಧುತ್ವ ಎಷ್ಟುವರೆಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಲೇಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಭಾಳ ಬಳಿಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಹಾಕೋ ಈ ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಹಾಕೋ ತಿಂಗಳಾಯಿತು. ನಾನು 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದಿಲ್ಲ. 1.5 ತಿಂಗಳು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಲೇಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಧತಿ, ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಧತಿ. ಮಂಡಲ ನಡಿಚಿದ್ದಂತೆ ಮಂಡಲ ಎక్కడ ఉండదు. ఇంత ఫస్ట్ టైం నా మండలాన్ని చిత్తూరు స్వామి బ్రేక్ చేసేసారు. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಯಿತು, ಅವನು ಇಚ್ಛೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು. ನಾನು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದತ್ತನೇ ಕರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ದತ್ತನೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ದೇಶ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದೀರ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ನಡೀತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಿವೆ ಅಂತ we want to see our pilgrimage centers in this country also, not only in India. So you can participate everyone temple. This is a good opportunity in your life. The lifetime, the only one time is coming, lifetime. Temple construction is not easy. So many people say it's very easy. It will take for 2 million or 3 million. Then committee people knows how much problem to temple build. They know. You don't know public. You are only giving some donation. But all responsibility committee members. They know how they are difficult to be built. Our mother knows about how to cook. One time she didn't want to taste the food. She prepared the food, she didn't taste. He gives to relatives. So you people enjoy. This committee members to workers to God, workers to Guru. మనం గురువుకి వర్కర్స్గా ఉన్నాం. అందుకని మనము కష్టపడకూడదు. This is very difficult, don't say like that. That's a good opportunity for a build temple. So we are all volunteers. We are all volunteers to do something. Tanu, mana, dhana. Says, Tanu means body. You can serve to body, to volunteer service, to direction, so many things. Mana. So you can to serve to your buddhi. So many things you get ideas. And dhana. Money. You can take. So there's the opportunity for human being built. So I think you can use for opportunity. Tano, mana, and dhana. You have a money. You can use this also for good purpose. Now I am very happy about this relationship of our Peter and Suttu. So more and more we want to this kind of relation continue. I pray that I pray that now I want to see to this building, not building this temple to build very soon. Maybe I will come and see you. My opportunity. ಮೈಲಕ್ಕೆ ನಾ ಅದೃಷ್ಟವದು ನನ್ನ ಅದೃಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡು मेरे सौभाग्य है भगवान कृपा से भगवान कृपा का सेवा करने का मेरा लिए अदृष्ट है. This is a good opportunity for me. So that's come to soon talk about. Once again, my Sadguru Suttu, retired Nati, Guru, Parampara Guru, Arnold Sati, ದೊಡ್ಡವರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮರೆಯುವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರ ಸ್ನೇಹ ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಕಳ್ಳ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಹಾಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸತಿ ನಾನು ಬೇಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಾವಿರಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಸ್ಟರಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯ ಫೋಟೋ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿರಲಿ. ಅವರು ನಂದಿ ಶಿವ ಗುರುಗ ಆ ಅವತಾರದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಂದಿ ಶಿವ ಗುರುಗ ಅವತಾರ ಹಾಕಿ ಅವರ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ ಪೀಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಿದೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಸುತ್ತೂರು ಸಂಸ್ಥಾನ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ, అధిష్టానం కూడా వెళ్ళాను. ఈ 7 సంవత్సరాల యొక్క హిస్టరీ ఈ పీఠాలు, వీళ్ళ సేవ, విద్యా సేవ, అన్న సేవ అద్భుతంగా జరుగుతుంది. దానికి నేను ఎంత పొగిడినా నాకు చాలు. అటువంటి ఆయన సంకల్పం, ఆయన వీళ్ళందరూ వచ్చిన పీఠాలు అందరూ నెరవేర్చవచ్చు. అందుకని నాకు పీఠం అంటే చాలా ఇష్టం, చాలా ఇష్టం. ఆ పెద్ద యొక్క శక్తి, ఎనర్జీ ఇక్కడ కూడా ఉంది. నౌ ఐ ఫీల్ దట్ ఎనర్జీ, మూల స్వామి ఎనర్జీ, ఐ ఫీల్ సో మీరందరూ కూడా లక్కీ పర్సన్స్. మీరందరూ చాలా చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది. మీ అందరికీ ఆ దత్తుడు సుత్తూరు స్వామి మూల గురువు మిమ్మల్ని ఆశీర్వదించండి. ఆయన స్వాంశంతో పుట్టినటువంటి నంది బృంద అంశం. అటువంటి స్వామిని మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ
Thank you, Ganapati Nath Sachinandan Swami, for all your blessings and kind words. We are truly honored. We have a few housekeeping items. One, please, everyone remain seated. We are getting through our program fairly quickly, so we request quiet and please take a seat. The other news I have for us today is, since we had an amazing turnout and our community is here to support us, we have maxed our limit for parking. When you exit the program much later today, please keep in mind that you will not be exiting necessarily the same way you entered today. Please follow security's guidelines to exit. There will be 3 separate exits for leave from the parking space today. Thank you. May I request Umesh Murthy to come up on stage next, please?
Hello everybody, my name is Umesh Murthy and part of the advisory board and also chair of the engineering committee here. Thank you. As an engineer, we are always correcting other people's work with the correct pen. So before I introduce this, I just want to clarify a couple of things. In Hindu tradition, we always say 51, 101, 1001. So based on that tradition, it did take us 5 years to get the permit. It took us 5 years, 1 month, and 1 day to get the permit. This is a 50-acre site. I want to clarify that it is 51-acre site. And also, it was announced that I placed $15,000. By Srimati Jagdish, I placed $15,001. So we have $1 more. Just a joke. I have the pleasure and honor of introducing His Holiness Guru Shri Shivratri Swamiji. A lot of his achievements have already been talked about. I'll briefly talk about on a personal level. He is the 24th Pontiff of Sri Suttur, established in 10th century Chittoor in the state of Tamil Nadu, India. He assumed the Pita, that means he became the Pontiff in 1986, at a very young age of 29 years. He still remembers my dad. My father took advantage of the free hostels in Mysore to pursue his education back in 1950s, and that's how I came to know about the lessons. His Holiness is responsible for establishing the Bharatiya Samskrita Parishad. We all talk about how this is based on not just one religion. It's an all-India organization providing collective leadership involving all the heads of different religions. It's going to take up activities which would benefit the mankind. He was responsible for establishing it. So, believing the predecessor, ignorance, which is Rajendra Swamiji, ignorance is the root of all ills in the society, and education is the solid remedy for this. So, believing in those words, he has steered and guided the JSS Mahavidyapita, which is the educational wing of JSS, to become the center of learning for more than 300 institutions from the type of K through 12 schools, whether it's engineering education, technical education, medical school, law school, you name it. There are about 100,000 students studying in these institutions, and many of them have collaborations with reputed universities abroad to India, industrial and research organizations such as USA, UK, Australia, Ukraine, Finland, Japan, France, Italy, Singapore, Malaysia. Most of all the institutions are spread out in about 3 or 4 states in India, and including even there's an institution in Mauritius. So, and then we talked about the youth initiative to provide education for the economically deprived society. dedicated a free residential school for 5,000 children studying from K to 12, irrespective of religious backgrounds. Coming from the northern part of the country, they even free tuition, boarding, housing, everything. 24 hours a day. This was started in 2003. Was the then Krishnan. And then the spirit of Dasoha, which is giving to the needy, not just in the mud 5,000 students, additional 25,000 students in the institution get free lunches. So they don't have to leave the school to go elsewhere, and they're economically deprived. So it's not just for education, food. And then he initiated the creation of polytechnic for differently abled, the first of its kind in India to bring hearing impaired and visually impaired into the mainstream of technical education, not just legal education. And in India, weddings are a very costly affair. So majority of the parents face a lot of economic hardships in conducting weddings for their children. Understanding the condition of such families, holiness shows the responsibility of facilitating and bearing the cost of more than 200 weddings every year on a mass weddings program. He did not stop there. He went into free healthcare, providing free healthcare for rural masses and economically deprived sections of society. The JSS Medical Service Trust was established on the guidance of His Holiness. There's an 1,800-bed hospital in Mysore. It also serves as a teaching hospital. And like I said before, if you don't have the money to pay, you don't have to pay. The fees are based on your economic situation. There's also a dental hospital with modern facilities which can treat 800 patients every day. He also runs and owns JSS Ayurvedic Hospital and Natural Homeopathy Hospital. And that was not it. So ultimate services to the farming community, a lot of emphasis has been given by JSS to improve the lives of the farming community in India. With a view to ushering technological advancement in agricultural sector, with the collaboration of government and government, JSS established many seed processing. Finally, the mission established here in 2005 is a result of his initiative. Otherwise, none of us would be here. I know most of you are from different religious backgrounds and beliefs. So we continue to enjoy the fruits of this initiative to promote the culture of peace and harmony with people of all religions and faiths. The new temple spiritual center for which we are here to break ground will support this goal for many generations to come. Now I invite His Holiness to give His blessings. Thank you.
అఖండ మండలాకారం వ్యాప్తమైన చరాచరం తత్పదం దర్శకమైన తస్మై శ్రీ గురువే సద్భక్త జన సందోహ కష్ట సంచయనాశకం కామకాలమయాతీతం శివరాత్రీశ్వరం భజ. ಮೈಸೂರು ದತ್ತಪೀಠದ ಜಗದ್ಗುರು ಗಣಪತಿ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರವ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ತೆರಳಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಅಮರನಾಥ್ ಅವರು, ಮಲಯಾಳಂ ಸಂಘದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ನಂಬಿಯಾದರೆ ಪೂಜ್ಯರನ್ನು ಪರಿಚಯಿಸಿದ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೃಷ್ಣೇಗೌಡರೆ, dignitaries who are present here, members of the spiritual mission family, invitees, ever-loving devotees. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಗಳು ಮಠದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರಿಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಹಲವಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ನೆನಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Three generations of his relations with Arnold. It is indeed a memorable day as we gather today to perform Bhoomi Pooja for the annual complex, which is coinciding with the celebration of 107th Jayanti of Jagadguru Dr. Sen Roger Wicker. This is already mentioned. God has been very kind that after 2 years, a gathering of this scale is permitted in public. The COVID-19 pandemic, which shook the world, has been contained by the collective effort of humanity and by the grace of God. As we all know, the Jesus spiritual mission was established in 1999 in response to the intense reserve expressed by the devotees of Jesus institutions to carry forward the instinctive values and propagate the time-tested tenets of Hindu spirituality. The mission had a very humble beginning with bare minimum facilities. The committed devotees and volunteers have left no stone in making the mission what it is today. To fulfill the purpose of His Holiness Jagadguru Swamiji, the growth of the mission has been incremental with the installation of the idols of deities of Shiva, Chamundeshwari, Balaji, Ganesha and Navagrahas in the Tini temple in 2000 to meet the spiritual hunger of the devotees and visitors. Religion is inseparably entwined with the life of an Indian, and wherever he lives with these values and believes in the philosophy of what is worship. However menial the work may be, it is offering to God as worship. His Holiness Jagadguru Dr. Sen Roger Wicker always believed in devotion and never missed his daily worship, even during his visit to the US in 1986, despite devotees' reservations. His Holiness Swami maintained equanimity in all circumstances and immersed in devotion. The genuine is exemplified by the widely
like messages coming that they cannot see.
ಮನಶುದ್ಧವಿಲ್ಲದವನಿಗೆ ಮಂತ್ರದ ಫಲವೇನು? ಕಲುಷುದ್ಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲದವನಿಗೆ ಫಲವೇನು? ಬಿಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಲವೇನೋ ದಿಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಲವೇನೋ ಶ್ರೀಶೈಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಮಿಂದು ಒಳಗೆ ಮೀಯದವರ ಕಂಡುಗಾಗಿ ಭಗತಿಪ್ಪ ಪುರದರ. The person with impure mind and heart is not entitled to the grace of God. However hard he practices the rituals unless he is out of sincere devotion. Hence for people to use the element of the devotion to one's own God is elemental to their existence. Devotion is considered to be the most appropriate way of seeking mukti in Kali Yuga, where man is distracted by umpteen distractions. The modern material world is the antithesis of sacrificed living. The Bhakti movement of Indian history is replete sages who attained moksha by surrendering to God. Hence, without worshipping God in any form, life becomes incomplete. ಅರನೀವ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿರಿಬೆನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕು ಐದು ಹೆದ್ದರೆಯು ಕೆರೆ ತುಂಬಿದಂತಯ್ಯ ನೆರೆಯಾದ ವಸ್ತು ನೆರೆವುದು ನೋಡಯ್ಯ ಅರಸು ಪರಿವಾರ ಕೈವಾರ ನೋಡಯ್ಯ ಪರಮ ನಿರಂಜನ ಮರೆವ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಿದ ಕರವಿಯ ಕಲ್ಲುಕೊಂಡಂತೆ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಲ್ಲದೆ. Sri Basaveshwara in the above vachana exhorts that when God gives the success falls sumptuously, and with the grace of God anything is feasible, just like flooding of rivers when it rains hard. When wealth accumulates, many valuable things are reasonable with can be benefit to the masses, but which accumulated wealth the kings are commonly appropriated by superheads which then never reaches people. It is enormously pleasing that His Holiness Jagadguru Arnold Swamiji ministers on this occasion is a paragon of devotion. His Holiness Swamiji had a unique relation, as just Swamiji mentioned elaborately with Swamiji. Today, his presence here has special importance. Recently, Swamiji's 80th birthday celebrations were held on a grand scale in Mysore and other ashrams also. At the age of 80, Swamiji is working tirelessly to advance the spiritual heritage of India around the world. Swamiji should have been in Mysore today, as I mentioned, after visiting London, but cancelled his London visit to needless to say. Needless to say, the high interest is for the project. The special leadership of India is the only hope for the world to reclaim peace and live harmoniously, which is being overwhelmed by material life. The devotees across the globe hail him to be their source of inspiration. The presence of Swamiji has magnified the aura of today's ceremony. When we went to temple, Swamiji whispered something in the ears of the Nandi. Then he told us he prayed Shiva through the Nandi to complete this project as early as possible. Hope his wishes will be. The temple complex with more amenities is a necessity now, where the devotees will have peaceful time at the time has come now to this dream in cooperation of devotees. As you all know, the concentration of the Bahubali statue could only be completed by an insignificant old lady named by Dulkai Aji, who brought milk in a pot. Similarly, generosity of any kind is vital for this purpose. Many of you here often inquired when the permanent temple structure will be ready, whether the design and plans are ready, whether the permission is obtained for construction, etc. Now the answer to the questions is yes, the project is ready to take off. The new temple complex is designed as per Vastu scriptures, and it would certainly be an abode for all those who are seeking divine experience. Though the work got delayed for more than 10 years, the final green signal has come on the auspicious day of Guru. The fact that it has been received on last year's day means that this project has truly been blessed by Guruji. Now it is our turn to ask a question to all of you. When will be the temple completed? Sacred works like this is the result of the concerted effort of all. If you all join together, the temple will be ready soon. Justice Chagla, an eminent jurist, in his autobiography, that is Roses in December, repents his ignorance of not being spiritual while he was young, but realizes that he becomes old and lonely, and says that he should have been earnest in accepting spiritual life from childhood. Spirituality is not a hobby but the essence of a fulfilling life. Sharing and caring are the quality of human life, as Sarvajna asserts. ಸಿರಿಬಂದ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆದು ದಾನವ ಮಾಡು, ಪರಿಣಾಮವಕ್ಕೂ ಪದವಕ್ಕೂ ಕೈಲಾಸ ನೆರೆಮನೆಯಕ್ಕೂ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. When wealth flows in, donate voluntarily and be led to be heaven. The human being is naturally endowed with faculty of discernment to identify the right cause. We should do so without any second thoughts. We recollect an incident when Kargil war was raging. The then government sought financial contribution from the public. We took Padayatra in the streets of Mysore to collect donations. Many shop owners were reluctant to part with their money as they had just opened their shops and giving one or the other reasons. But a poor pushkar vendor responded spontaneously by giving all the money in his pocket he has earned generously. Generosity is an inborn trait. The most helpless can also be most helpful. Now is the opportune time to complete the task of generosity. The birthday of Swamiji Jagadguru Shivarata Swamiji, as per Hindu calendar, is Bhadrapada Shukla Padya, which falls on August 29th also. It is a happy coincidence that Bhoomi Pooja for the temple is also scheduled on this auspicious day. Swamiji's birthday was celebrated at Shaturmat in Mysore on 18th August. This in the presence of Swamiji's Governor of Karnataka and thousands of devotees. It is heartening to find a little India here with the diversity in language, religion and culture. We come from various parts of India, but what is astonishing is they are all working in unison for the cause of the spiritual mission as their own conception. At this time, we must mention the services of VHP, particularly Dr. Kilara, Reverend Krishnan, with that here, Delegate Chili, members of advisory committee, former county executive delegate, all Montgomery County permitting officials, others are remembered for getting the building permits approved and taking the project further. The presence of all the VIPs, those who are with us and visited with the other to attend the other programs. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೇನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷದ ಸಂಗತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. We recognize the contribution of time and energy of volunteers who have helped in continuing the work of the mission through Kannada classes, yoga classes, science and dance classes, and supported our priest and Prasada Karaka in fulfilling the needed spiritual and community services. After the Bhoomi Pooja, the work must progress, and we hope to have an inauguration of the complex, as Swamiji mentioned already, in his presence itself, as soon as possible, as early as possible, with all your family members. So, hearty greetings to you and your family members in the forthcoming Gauri and Ganesha festivals. May God bless you.
Please be seated. I'm going to show you the beautiful rendering of the temple. Give me 2 more minutes. Please be seated. Don't come forward. Please be seated. Please be seated. Swamiji will come afterwards. Please be seated. Please be seated. Finished. I want to show you. Kindly be seated.
saw you took a lot of
As you
videos.
see,
Can you send the link of that one? Just to
temple is
Kerala
grand.
Association.
Sure.
I give the number. I can give you the number. What's the number?
Spacious to accommodate for all our activities.
240
So once we build the temple, it's going to cost us money.
643
So I'm going to just walk you through some of the funds
6819.
that we need.
What is your number?
We've collected so far $1,165,000, out of which we've spent about $700,000 for engineering, and county fees. We still have about $100,000 and balance of about $365,000. So let me walk you through what the cost of this temple would be. Demolition of the existing barn costs about $50,000. Site preparation, the radius costs us $1.5 million. Temple and the community center itself that we're going to build, the main structure, will be about $12 million. The parking, stormwater management, other related activities related to parking costs us another $1 million. With a grant, with another permitting, occupancy certificate, another $350,000, with a total estimated cost of $15 million. This is what the cost is going to be for the beautiful temple that we're going to be building. Next, now I want to guide you through what our next steps is going to be. Today, we're going to be doing the kicking off of the fundraising right now. So we are planning in March 2023 to select a general contractor, project and construction management. As you see, we'll start the beginning of the construction in September of 2023, and with an intention of finishing the entire construction and installation of the deities and the Kumbha Abhisheka, an approximate date of June of 2025. So, now I'd like to discuss specifically what is our fundraising, and how is it structured primarily. So, we have a bronze level of $1,000. We have, for the bronze, we give a family name will be displayed. We have a silver level, which is $5,000, and the family name will be displayed. And you reach $10,000 and above, you get a gold level. Your family name will be displayed in the temple. The puja will be performed yearly for immediate family members on their birthdays and their anniversaries. Go to the next level of $25,000, the diamond level. Your family name will be displayed. Puja will be performed yearly for immediate family members on their birthdays and anniversaries. Free use of the community center for 3 hours for up to 2 years. If you're at the $50,000 level, the platinum level, your family name and photo is displayed. Puja is performed yearly for your family members and their birthdays and their anniversaries. Also, you advertise your businesses during 2 major festivals for 1 year. In addition, you have the free community use of the community center for 1 day for 5 years. At the $100,000 level and above, for a lifetime member, family name and your family photo will be displayed. Puja will be performed for your family members on their birthdays and anniversaries. Advertising their business during 10 major festivals for 5 years. In addition to that, we'll also be adding the use of the community center for 1 day per year for 10 years. So we'll have 6 levels talk about what the sponsoring opportunities that you would be having. Now, you can sponsor the temple 1 square foot at $251, or you can sponsor the Garbhagudi at $50,000 level, or you can sponsor the Rajagopura at $25,000. You can do the classroom, community hall, library, kitchen at about $10,000 and above. You can do the Vimana Gopuram at $5,000. Or you can do for each brick $151. So you can be in the bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, and lifetime levels. So just to kind of get a sense of what it is. What you see is this beautiful temple structure that you'll be able to do. Now, I truly believe in the cause. Now, the temple is a tremendous undertaking which will require support of each and every one of us. It will reward you many times over in return. I understand some of you have already today. Thank you for it. And for those of you who are in the back, you've already been familiar with the pledge forms that I have here. And for some others, if you decide to do this a little bit later, not a problem. You can go to the website. There is a pledge and donation form. Give your consideration and thought. And I would like you to support. And thank you very much for all the support of the corporation. Thank you again. I also have the ability, you can use QR code to update all your information automatically online digitally. I also have a few donations that's come in while we're talking. We appreciate every one of those donations.
Jai Gurata, I am Tumula, board member of the USA, and I'm also proud to inform you all that I am a product of JSS, JCE. I've been associated with Swamiji and I've seen Swamiji since 1983. With, like some Ganpat Sajjan mentioned in the speech, being a board member and organizer is really a challenging task. It is everybody's complaints that we have to face through before the product is built for measurement of the society. With having gone through the experience in Dallas, building the Hanuman temple, we would like to support and extend any information or any details that we would need during the construction. And with Sri Swamiji's compassion, he just announced, or he requested to announce Datyava Center to support by pledging $100,000.
Thank you so very much, Swamiji, and we appreciate that. I've got another $100,000 for Sucheta, Prabhudev, Kona, and children, Shreyas and Manisha. I've got Aditya and Rajita Atakuru of $1,001. Kavita and Mahesh Kalwa, $10,008. I've got Shardati Srinivas Matta, $1,116. I've got Shiva and Jyoti, family Shikavira and Sahasvira at $5,001. I also have Satish and Mukta $1,000. Got an anonymous donation $10,000. Saluja and Aleku has added another $8,000 to a total of $10,000. Virendra and Shilpa $10,000. Jagdish $21,000. Thank you all so very much for your ongoing support that you've shown us. Please be cognizant that this temple, like Swamiji is earlier said, you can take it to any level you would like it to be. It all depends on you. So, thank you. I've got one more. Uma and Prakash Itigi, $10,001. Again, thank you all wonderfully. It's been a great.
Namaste. My name is Rupa Dasari. On behalf of JSS Spiritual Mission and all the volunteers, we would like to thank His Holiness Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji for presiding over this auspicious groundbreaking event.
Thank you. For the next section of our program, this is one that has been a core part of our community, facilitated by the folks who ran the JSS Sunday School. For the next part, we'll be in our cultural program.
Meanwhile, we received one more big donation from Maitri and Manjunath. It is $10,001. Give them a big applause. Thank you.
I would like to call Raju Uncle, as many of you know him, to come facilitate the cultural program part of the event today.
Yeah, I mean, in a few minutes, we are going to take. Take it. Non take it. Good.
Check.